What's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in. In this episode, I'll be taking the SR out of the 510 to get it ready to go on the 210. Here I'll be taking off the hot side charge pipes. This ancient blow off valve. I think it might be an old Turbonetics, or maybe the wastegate is a Turbonetics. I'm not quite sure. I don't remember. I have to go out and take a look at it. When I initially started recording these videos, I never intended on speaking through them, so I don't have any real audio I can use. I'm gonna go ahead and try to do a little voiceover and see how that works out. Also, excuse my voice because I am sick now. I have a little bit of a cold thanks to my 2-year-old. So this is also a very old Garrett turbo. Everything on this is old. I'm gonna be purchasing a new intake manifold. I'll also be making my own turbo manifold and exhaust system, upgrading the intercooler, wastegate, blow off valve, all of that stuff's gonna be replaced once I transfer it into the 210. Here I'm just gonna be draining the radiator. Also, a majority of these videos I'm recording as soon as I get home from work. So I just take off my uniform shirt and go straight to work in slippers and everything. So in the effort to make it look a little more presentable later on, I'll record the other videos with I guess a little proper attire, I guess you can say. Keep in mind, when I purchased this car, it already had this motor in it. Everything as far as fabrication or the condition of this car is how I got it. So I'm gonna slowly but surely get it to how I want it. I've had this car for over 10, maybe 12 years now, just sitting around, not really doing anything, making any progress. Family life and purchasing a home, 2 kids, you know, hobbies tend to take back seat. Taking out that small little, that looks like probably a little stock Honda radiator. It never had any overheating problems when I actually was able to drive it around. Never really got it to a point where it was fun, because it was never really tuned, so. And the diff was just whining because it was a welded diff. This seems to be like an old truck intercooler they just ended up using because they had it. All the bolts and nuts on this thing were different sizes. The guy that I bought the car from used to work with me at Toyota, but he used to be a Ford or GM guy, so mix of standard and metric stuff. was just really basically chopped and bolted together just to make it work. That's just a piece of rectangle tubing that they use to make the mounts, quote unquote. The passenger side didn't even have anything. It was just straight metal bracket. So you felt everything once this car was on. They're disconnecting the fuel rail, feed and return. Had a pretty good size fuel filter on it. Harness. I'm running a FT450 that I'll be transferring with the motor to the 210. I wish I would have gotten the 550 or the 600 at the time, but I just wanted to get the car up and running. It doesn't have a tack, so the FT or the Fuel Tech is a really good option because you have a lot of display there, since I don't have any display in the vehicle. No interior in the car. I think there I'm taking the disconnecting the starter. An oil pressure gauge. I have to disconnect because it's so large. I'm taking the alternator off here. It's been so many years that anything's been touched on this car that everything is either rusted or seized together. So I need a little persuasion so get moving. Here's my big old dog Onyx. So as you can see, the interior is nothing at all really. I had attempted to put some aluminum sheet metal inside, but never really got too far. Well, I got to a good distance with it, but they were just riveted in with nut certs. So all that stuff I'm gonna take out and actually put sheet metal back in appropriately as I build it around the motor coming in. So this is another reason why I'm taking this motor out. It will fit much easier in the 210 without modifying any of the structure of the vehicle. What I'm planning to put in this one will need some of the firewall cut out and made around the motor, so this is in the perfect shape to accept this project. So I had made a relay board and switch panel that I bolted to the tunnel that I made. So I'm just removing it in order to then take out the tunnel and disconnect the transmission from the block. Aluminum board and transmission tunnel before I started attempting to learn how to weld, so I've actually done a little bit of welding here and there. So now I'll be attempting to make my own firewall and interior panels once I get the motor mocked up in place that I want it to be. So they have probably like 3 different size bolts here for the engine. Crazy. Get the starter out. I keep my engine hoist outside, so I end up removing the actual pole jack or bottle jack to keep it away from the elements. seatbelts save lives and also take out engines, as you will see. Everything is rusted on that 4-bolt downpipe. Quite a bit of work to take it out.